kind of start
All
the
right,
show?
y'all. Y'all already know
You
what it
already
is. It's the
know.
Pattawon here. You know that new Thor, Love and Thunder trailer just dropped, and it triggered a lot of things in my head, and I have some ideas of where the movie is going. So follow along with me on this journey as we check out Thor, Love and Thunder. All right here. Pause it. All right, you see this outfit? This is one of his classic outfits from back in the day when he first came out in Marvel in Journey into Mystery. Yeah, Journey into Mystery. I was right. Yeah.
His hands were once
Oh,
used for
shoot, that
battle.
cape kind of cool with the fur. Okay, this is the part when he buries his axe. Y'all might know this as Stormbreaker in the MCU, but to me, it reminds me of Yarnborn. I'm probably saying that wrong. When he faced off with one of my favorite villains of all time in Sabanor Apocalypse. All right, so way back in the day in 11th century AD Scandinavia, we find Thor in the bar, lit as hell, drunk as a bitch, doing his favorite pastime of having a bar fight and acting a fool like Tiz in his 20s. He's gonna be mad at me after hearing this. So this is the part where Thor got caught slipping and got his fade ran the fuck up. Gotta use moderation. Do y'all notice those guys right there? All those white folks looking scared like they saw Ving Rhames at a Cracker Barrel for the first time? That's because they notice a dark, giant figure towering right behind Thor. And Thor doesn't notice anything. They're calling him giant demon. And he's thinking that they're talking about him. So he starts bragging, saying, I'm no giant. I'm just the god of thunder who has never lost to anybody on earth. Oh, you don't say. Then a voice come thundering in like, then today is a day for first, young god. And quicker than you can say God smacked Lois Lane in front of Superman.
What's good, Rodney?
Boom! Bye-bye. But look how far that nigga Thor flew
Nigga right next
on
door.
out the club. But even though he got caught slipping, young Thor ain't no slouch. As soon as he turned around, he was like, you a bitch ass nigga for not facing me man to man and shit. But the main reason why Apocalypse even pulled up on Thor in the first place, because he heard word in the timeline streets, is Thor gonna grow up and end up killing him one day. So, Apocalypse was like, nah, I ain't gonna wait for that. I'm gonna just pull up on this nigga and see what the fuck his problem is right now.
That little nigga, don't fuck with me.
So Thor at that time got his ass kicked and then he just dipped the fuck off. This story was in Uncanny Avengers 6, written by Rick Remender and drawn by Daniel Acuna. I hope I said his name right. All right, I know. I'm just trying to figure out a way to sneak the X-Men into the
exactly
MCU.
who I am.
And I really like that story, yo. It was a fun story. Thor versus Apocalypse. Oh, wait a minute. Pause it. You see that hat right there? You see that? That font is from this book, the first Avengers book. Can't you tell? Sweet, huh? I'm gonna get that hat. Watch me. I'm about to look it up on Amazon right now.
I want to choose my
All
own
right,
path.
Thor. Out here trying to dress like me in these streets. Man, gonna fight Thor. I wish I had this
My
spaceship though.
superheroing days are over.
Mine too. I don't love these hoes. Oh shoot, it's the goats. It's Thor's goats. Tooth Grinder and Tooth Gnasher, aka Thor's getaway drivers when he in a clinch. Like when Apocalypse ran that fade. Look, Apocalypse mad. Call him unworthy. Some of a bitch. Thor got his revenge though. You see that pyramid exploder in the background and shit. All right, this part's going to confuse people because that is Zeus and Thor is a Norse god and Zeus is a Greek god. So your next question is, what does Zeus have to do with a Thor story? The thing is, he's a god. Just like this creature in the background, he's also a god and a friend of Thor. This is Falagar the Behemoth, a patron god of the galactic frontier, champion of the Tournament of Immortals for 5 centuries straight, and they say he wrestled black holes just for fun. But when Thor finds him here, he's murdered. So we're wondering who's strong enough to kill someone that can play around with black holes.
Pause. For sure. Whoa, shit.
Holy goddamn.
Jesus Christ.
So that introduces us to the antagonist of the film, Gore, the God.
Butcher, nigga.
That's right, Gore the God Butcher, and he's being played by Christian Bale. They got the original Dark Knight to play another dark guy in Gore the God Butcher, who made his first appearance in Jason Aaron and Asad Riddick's Thor, God of Thunder, and he's pretty much the main antagonist in this one. So Gore's origin is 3,000 years ago on this barren wasteland of a planet. He was born, and at an early age, his mother and father died, probably due to starvation on that harsh environment. Years later, Gore, he found a mate. They basically fathered some children. However, most of them died out, and Gore's pregnant mate, Ara, she was killed during the earthquake. And then one after another, the children started to die out until he was left with just his son, Agar. And eventually he would die due to starvation also. So, stricken with grief, Gore was just pissed off and just gave up hope and just started outwardly expressing that there were no gods. And if there were gods, they were either evil or they just don't care about him and his people. And this was a problem because in his culture, they were highly superstitious and a highly religious culture. So because he kept expressing that, they just exiled him. And he was left to basically fend for himself for the rest of his life on that barren planet. So one day while he was wandering the desert praying to die, he actually saw two gods fighting. One god of darkness and one purple-skinned god of light. The two gods fell from the sky and plunged down into the surface. Like boom! And Gore was shook. He was shook at the realization that gods actually exist. And then the purple-skinned, golden armor god of light actually reached out and asked for Gore's help. And that pissed Gore the fuck off. He was like, my people been praying to you gods for generations and generations, and y'all just been letting us die, and you're gonna ask me for help? At that moment, Gore's rage attracted the dark god's sword. It bonded with Gore, and Gore used the sword to kill the god of light. Gore described it like this: it fell from the sky many years ago on a world without a name. I picked it up and butchered my first gods. And then as I stood there, baptized in their blood, a question formed in my simple little brain. I wonder if there are more. Gore, the God Butcher.
The butcher coming, nigga.
That boy
That's
is
right, the butcher coming, nigga. What you gonna do, Thor? What you gonna do? You got Tessa being a politician and shit. You done left your gang. This is weird. We're gonna pass that. I really want this jacket though, right here. I really do. Yep, and that's Thor. Love and Thunder. Yeah. Oh shit. Wait a minute. Oh, it's Jane Foster. It is Jane Foster. They put the Jane Foster Thor in this. Well, I heard they were going to do that anyway, but yeah, it's Jane Foster.
Bring that down a couple
of decibels. I wonder which version
Pattawon.
of this is going to be.
Yeah.
Though.
You're embarrassing me.
The original reason why Jane Foster actually became Thor started off in Original Sin, where this was this case where the Watcher, Watu the Watcher, was killed. And then they made it like a whole murder mystery. The part that relates to Thor is Nick Fury actually whispers something to Thor, and it causes Thor to become unworthy. Unworthy meaning Thor would not be able to actually wield Mjolnir, which is his hammer that he uses all the time and actually increases his power. So for years in Marvel fandom, it was a big thing trying to figure out what the fuck did Nick Fury say to make Thor unworthy? Was it a magic trick? What? All he actually whispered was Gore was right. That's right. Gore the God Butcher was right. The gods were unworthy and they really didn't do anything to help anybody in general.
Kind of got a point.
So for a while, Thor just called himself Odin's son, the unworthy, and kept around Yonborn. But meanwhile, Jane Foster was like, there always has to be a Thor. So somehow she actually came across Mjolnir and was actually able to pick up Mjolnir, making her worthy and becoming the new Thor. But yeah, this is basically what I've seen so far out of the Thor trailer. The little Easter eggs and just a few things that just trigger my interest and ideas I want to put out that I hope will actually get into the movie. So thanks guys for hanging out and nerding out with me on this first unofficial episode of Intergalactic, hosted by me, the Pattawon. 1/3 of the Podnas here. But yep, planning on doing more videos like this, explaining little things in nerd culture that capture my interest. But thanks for hanging out with me, and y'all stay safe out there and stay spacey. And it's been 1/3 of the Partners, and this has been Intergalactic. Peace.